The Prime Minister has wrapped up official business on her week-long trip to the US. In New York, the heart of global trade and commerce, she talked to business leaders and had lunch with Rupert Murdoch. The PM also used the visit to put her weight behind Australia's bid for a seat on the UN Security Council. Chief Political Correspondent Mike Simpkin reports from New York.
The Australian flag is flying on Wall Street. Julia Gillard came to the heart of global capitalism this morning, the New York Stock Exchange, for meetings with business leaders. And perhaps not surprisingly, they wanted to quiz her on the government's plans for a carbon tax and a revised mining tax.
Certainly carbon pricing and the minerals resource rent tax. I affirmed that I intend to legislate the agreement that I struck with Australia's biggest mining companies in the middle of last year, and that I intend to see carbon pricing start in our country from the 1st of July 2012.
They're not the only business leaders Julia Gillard met today. She had lunch with media mogul Rupert Murdoch, and no doubt he also had some questions to ask about the government's plans.
We had a nice conversation over lunch, and I certainly wish Mr Murdoch a happy birthday for tomorrow.
Now, New York is also home to the United Nations. Julia Gillard will be pushing Australia's bid for a seat at the UN Security Council, and she's also had to clear up questions about whether she and Kevin Rudd have a different view on how the United Nations should deal with Libya. Kevin Rudd has been pushing the option of a no-fly zone, whereas Julia Gillard is saying that's just one option of many.
These things are completely in accord with each other. What I want to see, what the Foreign Minister wants to see, what Australia wants to see is the UN Security Council come forward with a package of measures that has the greatest chance of being effective. I don't want to narrow any options.
But he does.
Well, I don't want to narrow any options. I don't accept your characterisation. The Foreign Minister would not want to see any options off the table that might assist.
Tomorrow, Julia Gillard packs up and heads home, but she's stopping over in Hawaii, not just to refuel, but also to have dinner with the head of the Pacific Command, the American commander. And he will be talking with Julia Gillard about closer military cooperation between the two countries. In New York, this is Mark Simpkin for ABC News.